Everything you need to know about the Vigo Dem Party. So sit back, relax, and watch from anywhere. Get ready for a chat with a chair.
I'm Joe Etling, Chair of the Vigo County Democratic Central Committee. We are in chat with the chair. I know we're missing the plaid blazer, but we're out here just prior to the start of the postponed St. Patrick's Day parade. We've got some special guests here I wanted to talk to. We've got this young lady here with the green hat. Tell our viewers who you are.
My name is Stacee Todd, and I'm running for Harrison Township Trustee.
And not only that, you are the Harrison Township Trustee.
Yes, I am.
So tell our viewers what's going on in the trustee's office.
In the trustee's office, we are giving people a step up and helping them get on their feet.
We help people in need. Since COVID, since I came in here, I've been here now almost 2 years, the people were scared to come out of their homes because of the COVID. So then when I came in, they used telephones to help people. Now since then, and I've become trustee and everything's opened up, we have been super busy. We help people with burial, with cremation. You will find that most people don't have insurance or can't afford. They're on a fixed income. We help with lights, gas, water, but they have to be 30-day behind. If it's a disconnect, then we will give them a denial to help them to get a different service. When they leave here, we don't want them to feel defeated. We want them to feel like we've helped them all we can to get them the help they need. They have to have a budget sometimes, but sometimes people don't have a budget or know about a budget. Sometimes they don't keep their receipts, so we have to if they have a bank account, 30 days of their bank account, and we help them go through those things. And if they they don't get food stamps or they don't get TANF, we are able to look at, they had to spend food for their children or clothes or things like that. You take all that into consideration because, your child should come first. Then you have your older generation that they worked all their life, but they only get Social Security. And it's not enough to go around. And they are the ones that when they come in, they're embarrassed to come in. And you don't want them to be embarrassed. I tell them, this is a step up. You paid, taxes your whole life. And that's what it's for, to help people that have worked and need help. And it's for the sick. There's just so much more need these days. And then we point them to reach out services. There's been homeless that we've helped them to get a place to live through realtors that will let them, if they have a job, they'll help them with their rent for 3 months. There is energy assistance out there that's grant funded. Some, I'm not quite sure how that is, and they will help more. Ours is really the last resort. But anymore, it seems like the people that are coming here, they're looking for direction. Where do I go? What do I do? So we pick up the phone and we'll see where we can go next. We don't just say, no, we can't help you. We say, we'll figure it out together. And there are times when they are over budget, or they got their tax check and things went wrong, or their car, the motor blew up, or they got stranded. Things happen, and we all know that, I've been there in my life. I've been there when I've been down and no one to help me. When I was a young girl, my dad was the trustee, and I worked part-time. But we had a restaurant for years, Joy's Restaurant in West Terre Haute, and my dad would always be feeding someone, a family, my whole life. And he had that trustee's office, so my mom once said, he's going to give the restaurant away and everything else because people were so in need in Sugar Creek Township. I mean, food and people just needing. And I knew then I wanted to help people. There are vets that have come. I had a veteran come here. He had his light bill. The ink was so thin, or how they printed it, he couldn't see the disconnect, and he got disconnected, him and his wife. And they lost all their food, and they have no family here. And they were so upset. So they were with someone out there, and I went out there and just talked to them. I said, don't be ashamed. Don't feel defeated. We'll figure this out. We're going to help you. So we helped them, and then Salvation Army helped them, and then we helped them get food for their house. And so when they left, they were happy people. And you get a lot of the younger generation because they have so many children, and they're trying to feed them all. And then they get back on their, the COVID shut everything down. They lost their job. They're just trying to make it single mothers. It's just, when you see it, you just want to help those kids. Those little kids out here that you want someone to care. I had a lady in here, and she was getting assistance, and the little boy came in, and we gave him paper and pencil, and he was just coloring, and I went over and I was talking to him, and one lady had suckers, so we gave him some suckers, but he said, I like it here, and that's what you want him to leave with, that it's not a bad place, and there is help. My heart goes out to everybody, and sure, there's that person that maybe took advantage of you, it'll happen, but you know what? If you helped the next one and the next one and the next one, then you know what? I'm thankful. Since all of this has happened, COVID and everything, there are people out here that don't have family, and no one checks on them. So a neighbor will go over, and a person will have passed away. They have no kin, they have no insurance, so they'll call us. And so the funeral homes around Griner, Samaritan, most all of them will take our pledge, which is $900 for a cremation. And so then the neighbor will come in, have to sign the papers, bring some type of ID, their Social Security, something. And then we can help them and get that help. We had actually someone that was from Marion Township. They were visiting someone here, they never knew who. They ended up in the hospital. They passed away. So the hospital called us, and that person they had had for 2 weeks because they were trying to reach family, and they never could reach family. So then they give us the proper documentation, we fill it out, and then they're cremated. Then it's out of my hands, you know what I mean? I do the best I can here, but it's the law and the funeral home and the hospital that then now has to be involved to find the people. I knock on their door and I tell them, hi, I'm Stacee Todd, and I'm running for re-election for Harrison Township trustee. I've been there 2 years, started as an intake. Now I'm the trustee, and I want to help people. And if ever you need, and you're in need, or you know someone in need, our office is at 721 Elm Street. Come in, and we will do the best we can to help you. My whole life we worked. My parents started me out early in the public eye at the restaurant. Loved people, waited tables, my grandma Joy. I can remember being in the kitchen, making a roll at the age of 7, sitting on a freezer, deviling eggs, making homemade applesauce. I mean, my grandma, it was like, you're gonna work. You're gonna get this done, girl. And in my life, I've carried that with me. She has always said, you know, that's my blood running through your veins, and we work for a living. Us women, we do it. My oldest daughter is Brittany, and her husband Matt. They live in Indy, and they have 4 children. They work for Campus Outreach, the colleges all over, Purdue, IU, everywhere. My daughter Bridget and Steve, he works at the federal prison. Bridget works at the Sullivan County Courthouse for the clerk. Have 2 grandchildren, Briar and Rayleigh. Then I have my son James. He works for the federal penitentiary. He has a little girl named Aubrey, and he's engaged to a young lady named Abby, and she's a nurse. I have an amazing family. I have good kids. They all work hard. My daughter Brittany and Matt came in from Indianapolis to even walk in the parade, and you know, I can say that they're very supportive. I'm blessed beyond. You know, I feel like I've always taught them their worth ethic, that we, you know, for anything you want in life, you have to work, you know. Sometimes you fall down, but you have to get right back up, you know. And so I've done my best to train them like my grandmother and my mother and my dad taught me, you know. I would say me being in the restaurant and seeing so many different types of people. Like, you know, you have your people that have money. You have your people that don't have, you know, little kids. One time, a little boy would come get biscuits and gravy every morning, sit at the counter, and he'd say, "Can I have a to-go box?" And I'd say, "Sure." And he didn't have very much left. And I'd say, "What are you going to do with that?" And he said, "Well, I want to take it home to my mom." So I would put more gravy and give it to him. And he would come every week, and one of the waitresses said, "Now you know," and I said, "Who cares? Who cares? He's being fed, he's helping son. You know, he thinks his mom, you know, she worked hard all night long to provide for him." And that's what you see. You see the single moms out here. You see the older people. They've worked their whole life. They're tired. And you don't want them to feel defeated. You want to give them a step up. You want them to feel like somebody cares, like you're just not another number. You know, if you can't pay their water bill, well, then you can call the sewage company. And I've talked to Jesse Tohill several times, and he has helped us. I've talked to Salvation Army. They have helped us. You know, outreach will help us. You know, it's you caring enough to pick up the phone, because people don't know what to say. And when you've done it so long, you figure out, hey, this is where we go. This is what we have to do. Maybe they can't help us every time, but someone will help us.
Look at the green on this guy. Look at this. Kind of bright. Who's this young guy?
Chris Newton, running for Vigo Superior Court 4 judge.
Who is with the judge?
I have my daughter Hillary Newton Kleinhans, and I have my grandson Newton Kleinhans. So we call him Newty. He's so excited to be part of the parade. He wants to throw the candy out.
That's great. And you've been in 1 or 2 of these parades, I know.
1 or 2 since I think I started out when I was 8 years old. With my father, he was on the county council at that time.
Remind our viewers about your background, Your Honor.
I don't know where you want to start, but I'm born and raised here in Terre Haute. I went to Gordon Elementary, Woodrow Wilson, Terre Haute South, Arizona State. I got a law degree at Brigham University, and I've worked at Wright Shanks and Lowry for 15 years as an attorney, and for the past 18 years I've served as a judge in the Superior Court. I wanted to stay that way.
So you're currently the judge, and you're running for election. And obviously this is part of the campaigning part. I know, like you said, your father is such an important part of Field County politics when you're growing up. So how's campaigning changed over the years, Judge?
Well, I think a lot of people don't try to put the personal touch to things, but it's kind of in my DNA. Hopefully I can, touch some of the people. When you look at it, not so much to be a politician, but be a public servant and, serve just was always emphasized in our family. It wasn't about the recognition. It was about the good that you can do to help someone else. I know in my position, I make decisions sometimes. I do the best I can with what the law is and what the facts are that are presented to me. People get frustrated because they always want things their way, but you just have to do what's right and move on. And I do my best.
And of course, your father's a beloved public servant. He's passed, but those of you that recall and still out there in our viewing public, of course, your mother was always by your father's side. She's still with us. Talk about your mother and remind our viewers how she's doing.
Well, my dad's Paul Newton. My mother's Velma Newton. She just celebrated this past week her 95th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, and she's still really, really sharp. She can't get around quite as much as she would like, but she still can remember things that happened many years ago. And in some ways, a better memory than all the rest of her kids.
It is pretty phenomenal. And of course, it's always great to see her events. She really so loves it, and it's just great to see her. And of course, like you said, it's amazing how she knows people and can pick them out, knows their names after having not seen them for so many years. It's remarkable.
I wish she could be here with me today because she would really help me with a lot of the names here.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. And of course, we really like the green here, Judge.
Yeah.
And we want to point out that last week you were kind enough to host the family hosted, and probably a record crowd there.
We had between 300 and 400 people last week. There was a lot of people, and it was really good. And I inherited that from our previous judge, Judge Kearns, Jerome Kearns. And he willed that to me, he said. And it was always good when he could come and still support it, but we sure miss him.
We do miss him, and we appreciate you doing that. It's a great event. We didn't postpone that, so that was be in line with this, but
it was inside.
It was inside.
It was inside,
so,
yeah.
But again, thanks for being here today, and we appreciate all you do, and give your mother our best.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to her.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
very
everybody.
much. Working hard. You're also out campaigning like today.
I've been out there.
So Craig's going to pull out here about 1 o'clock.
VMOCRATIC. Everything you need to know about the Vigo Dem Party. So sit back, relax, and watch from any